to my favorite old devil dog. They told me he ain't finally heading home.
Take it back. Won't you let me take it back? No, I told you that I don't love you. I'd be better off with someone new, but I'll take it back. Take it back. Girl, you know that I still love you, and you know that I'm so long. I don't know why I told you that I didn't need you.
Well, I know what you're thinking. You got me figured out all wrong. I got a dirty laundry list on me that reads a mile long. What you looking for, red flag? I got all different kinds, but there ain't no truth to the lies that you heard about me. I got bones hanging next to my clothes, and it's under the nose, it ain't hard to see. I got a price tag on this heavy head of mine, and they probably rather see me dead than alive. It's okay, I don't really end up please much anyway, but a name is a name, and mine may as well be a curse. It's just easy to say I'm the worst. You can say that I'm an outlaw,
brought you close to the American trail. Oh boy, your chores, treasure toys for the hammer and nail. Saddle up, hit the road, got a long, long way to go. Time is running real low, and they ain't making no more. Dear child, so wild, don't worry about running thin. Every choice, every mile is right on your fingertips. Hurry on, don't be late. Got a meeting real soon with fate. Top before you on your plate, just waiting on a name yet to be made. So catch your breath, settle on in. Find out the hard way's the best way to win. Fall on down and count your sins. The American trail's about to strike. About to strike again. 18, dream fiend. Don't let them try to drag it down. No sleep, new scene. Not looking for the fast way out. Your head stays down in that mud. Your soul is tired and your hands are done. Get your rest when the sun goes down. When it comes back up, you're heading out. Catch your breath, settle on in. Find out the hard way's the best way to win. Fall on down and count your sins. The American trail's about to strike again. Oh, about to strike again. So catch your breath, settle on in. Find out the hard way's the best way to win. Fall on down and count your sins. The American trail's about to strike again. Catch your breath, settle on in. Find out the hard way's the best way to win. Fall on down and count your sins. The American trail's about to strike again. About to strike again. The American trail's about to strike again. Oh, about to strike again. Nose of the Grindstone. Hold on. Daddy worked like a mule mining Pike County coal. He fucked up his back, couldn't work anymore. He said one of these days you'll get out of these hills. Keep your nose on the grindstone and out of the pills. See, the ways of this world will just bring you to tears. Keep the Lord in your heart and you'll have nothing to fear. Live the best that
Keep your nose on the grindstone and out of the pills. Well, Daddy, I've been trying, I just can't catch a break. There's too much in this world that I can't seem to shake. But I remember your words, Lord, they bring me chills. Keep your nose on the grindstone and out of the pills. Keep in mind that a man's just as good as his word. It takes twice as long to build bridges you've burnt. And there's hurt you can cause, time alone cannot heal. Keep your nose on the grindstone and out of the pills. Well, Daddy, I've been trying, I just can't catch a break. There's too much in this world I can't seem to shake. But I remember your words, Lord, they bring me to chills. Keep your nose on the grindstone and out of the pills. Keep your nose on the grindstone.
Life feels like a battle, one that I can't win. It's like I'm swimming against the current, like I'm running against the wind. It's like I'm going overboard.
Welcome back to another episode of the Weekly Review. I'm Dylan Carlson alongside my good friend Josh Hoffman. And yeah, dude, today's going to be a special episode. You know, we started doing these Behind the Lens series with a little bit more longer projects, I would say. So not your typical edit that we would normally review on this show, something that's got a little bit of depth to it, a little bit more longevity. A little bit more effort, I would say. So this week we are in the remaining 2 episodes of this show are going to be going through easily the most amount of effort I've put into video creation, video editing, planning, all sorts of that stuff with the Label Y1 project. But yeah, man, kind of coming down to the wire here a little bit.
Yeah, we're starting to wrap up. I mean, I think we've had a good deal of fun, this season. A little bit different kind of atmosphere, like you touched on. But hey, it's if everything's the same, then it just gets boring after a while. I think what I really enjoyed is, kind of branching out and like doing this, behind the lens and really like the rewind stuff. That's like super cool. Things that we explored, and I really liked, kind of going back and really doing a deeper dive rather than just almost surface level review stuff. So
yeah, 100%, dude. And like when we kind of came up with the concepts for this season, the first season was basically just, hey, all we want to do is review content weekly. We want to see new stuff every week, and we tried to do some prompts and stuff, and it just never worked out. Like nobody really wanted to, participate in that way, and maybe it's just because we're already a niche community with this game, and trying to find an even smaller community, it's gonna be a little tough. So, we kind of branched out and found a way to make it work with content that already exists out there. Still had our guest spots every so often. Not as many this season, I would say, but we had a fair amount with the behind the lens and the rewind ups. I think those have been really, really fun to do. So, yeah, man, I'm excited, dude. I don't know, dude. Like, I guess I'll let you kind of take the reins for this and ask as many questions as you like. But what I will say about this episode tonight is we're gonna have to split it into 2 parts. The project itself is 35 minutes long, and I assume we're gonna be breaking down each piece as we kind of go through. So this first half will be the Session Boys and Trident Racing, who supported the brand early on. They got on the label program. Session still with us today, and one of my biggest supporters. So shout out to Veggie, Dashpack, Gurn, all those guys over at Session. Man, they're great dudes. I have nothing but kind things to say about them. They've helped me a long way with this project, and honestly, like, they were kind of the first team that not even like, I didn't pitch them to run my gear. Veggie approached me and was like, "Hey, can we work something out?" So, like, Veggie's helped me across the board with design and everything for this game. Dude's a legend. I'm sure you guys. It's almost impossible to have not run into Veggie if you play dirt or bikes.
No, he's a awesome dude, and I've only talked to him a few times, but the few times I did, he's a blast.
Yes.
And you talk him up with how creative and how knowledgeable he is with the design side of things, so
Yeah.
great guy.
Yeah, no, he's super cool, and it was awesome. Like, I tried to get him on this project. So a little background about how Year One came about was, a lot of it was just me wanting to give back to the people that have supported the brand. So what I did is I threw the net out to all the supported teams that I had at the time, which was Trident and Session. There's a couple others, but nobody really got back to me as far as what I was looking for. And I said, hey, put on a set of your favorite gear. Doesn't matter what season it is. I don't care what you guys are running, but go put it on, and then send me your kit file for your bike and whatnot, everything else that you have. If you have any custom models, which I will say, like, Dash has helped us out a lot in the past, but it was a kind of a big pain in the butt for Sessions, because they had a bunch of different model swaps, and a lot of them were imported onto like the KTM model or different. It was weird.
Oh, okay. Yep. I gotcha.
So I had to like go in, change the model, record the footage, and then down the line, because I was recording all of this at the same time, I was trying to block it out in sections where I was just gathering replays for, I don't know, it was like the first 3 months I was gathering replays from everybody. And as time went on, more people started to see, like, hey, this is the first draft. So they were getting like really bare bones, unedited versions of each of their edits. And people were like, oh, well, I want to be a part of the project. So full circle here, I tried to get Veggie in on the project, but he had sent a replay in from season 13, which was the first release of this year. And I was like, dude, it had to be from 1 to 12. And he's like, oh man, could you can you switch the kit? And I was like, yeah, totally. I can for sure do that. And then by that time, like I was getting ready to do the final touches on the whole
Oh yeah.
thing.
So
And I'm like,
yeah.
no, I'm just, I can't. Like,
Well, because
I
yeah,
yeah.
you're burnt out, but then
Yeah.
essentially you're adding another edit to
Mhm.
go through and polish and try to fit into this final piece that you had.
Right. And like, it
Yeah.
wouldn't have been that difficult, but what was like 6 months into this project when I'm doing like literally the final pass through and showing you, because you were like a part of this process throughout the majority of it, is like, hey, I think it started like right around month 3 when I had kind of collected all of the replays. We had done the big group ride session for the team portion of this,
Yeah.
and I was started like showing you like, hey, this is what it looks like, and starting to like get feedback and send it out to other people, and then really fine tuning the final result. And at the end of it, there was some stuff that did end up getting cut, um and a lot of it was like my own personal thing, is I didn't want to have um man, I just didn't want to have like a 45 to an hour long project. I think it would be really fucking cool to do it, but like that's such a fuck. I mean, we know people's attention spans is pretty short as it is. So getting somebody to sit down and watch a hour long composition for that's just moto edits is going to be next to impossible. So with that
Well,
35
yeah,
minute mark, yeah, go ahead.
I
Sorry.
was gonna say 30. No, I was just gonna say, yeah, 35, typically it would be pushing it. So if you're gonna essentially double that,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it was a lot. So I don't know. It was this by far, dude, the most amount of effort that I've put into a project. God, it took so long. And it's crazy to think that this got posted. Oh God, when did it get posted? 3 months ago. March 18th of this year. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay, yep.
because when did I start this? I started it in November, like, I think.
Well, yeah, it had to be around then.
Yeah, because I was like right at the tail end. That would have been season 11 that got released, and then I had season 12, but that never went out to anybody. Like, I think there was, I don't know, maybe 3 people that had season 12 gear, even on our team, because I was just like so burnt out at that point doing
Yeah.
monthly releases. And I'm like, dude, I'm fucking done. I'm just doing the public
Which I can't
release.
believe. Yeah, I can't believe you committed to that. That's so much work that you put on yourself.
Bro, you're telling me, man. So like on average, I was doing somewhere in the neighborhood of like 160 kits a month.
That's a month.
And now like with season 13, 14, and 15, dude, it's 15 was tough because, well, I guess all of them were all 8 kits a piece, but dude, you're doing weekly drops of like fuck, I don't know, man. Dude, it is what we've got just shy of 13 guys on SCD. Session ranges from anywhere between 10 to 15, and then East Action Sports was doing like 12 guys. So each week you're doing close to 45 kits of just one gear set, and that's like every week for 3 months. So by the end of it, dude, it was like insane amount of content that was getting pushed out. So yeah, I got to the point now where I'm only doing it quarterly because I just can't take that amount of workload, dude. It's just so much.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I don't blame you at all. And well, it kind of, you need a break to kind of like recharge and like actually enjoy what you're doing, because
Right.
it comes to a certain point where it's like this is monotonous, and then you lose the point of doing what you know what why you started this in the first place.
Right. And like when I started the label back in January of 24, dude, it was like I was super fresh. Like the designs were good each month. And they weren't like good in comparison to what I'm releasing now, but like towards the end of 2024, like really once we got past September, man, the creativity each month was just like kind of garbage. And I'm just throwing these what I would say are like throwaway kits that people didn't really like. They weren't all that great design wise. They were fine. They were passable, but then I kind of told myself that at the start of this year, I was like, dude, I have to like push on the brakes a little bit and take time to develop just better designs, cleaner designs, better colorways. I'll release more kits. So instead of doing like a four kit colorway thing for a season each month, I'm doing 8 kits a season now, and they're coming quarterly. But the designs are way better. I switched over from using Photoshop full time to now using Illustrator because it's honestly, dude, it's so much faster. My workflow is insane now. Like,
Well, yeah, when you first started, you kind of touched on it, kind of showed me, and you know that's completely foreign to me. But from what you were explaining, yeah, it looks like it streamlines everything,
yeah,
and yeah, just focusing on quality over quantity. Which I mean, you put yourself kind of in a corner, you know, because you're like, hey, we're gonna have all these drops, but yeah, you know, it's super easy to be like, oh shit, kind of almost overwhelmed, you know,
yeah.
like you're just getting something out just to get it out, right?
Right. And that was like the big thing for me is like, dude, I can't do that to myself. One, it's a lot different than doing like replica gear, right? So like the guys that do replica gear do it really well. And obviously it's a lot more popular in the game because people want real world kits. But I think, and maybe that's just because I'm super biased because I do run a virtual gear brand, but like utilizing virtual brands inside the game and supporting those people that are trying to make something cool has always rung way more true as a community versus running real life stuff, in my opinion. But again, I am super biased when it comes to that because I have a virtual gear brand. I've always thought they had some of the better designs. I will say that there's a lot of not so high quality stuff out there as far as virtual brands, but I'm not gonna sit here and say like they won't get better, man. Because like if you look back at season 1, dude, like it wasn't anything groundbreaking. I wasn't completely changing the game as far as designs are concerned. I was still utilizing basically standard normal maps, all of that shit. But when you look at high quality virtual gear brands like Valor, dude, they never drop anything until it's 100% perfect, fine-tuned, all of that stuff. Like they do a
Yeah.
really high quality job with their gear. And that's kind of the standard that I would, or like the benchmark that I've kind of put myself on is look at what they're doing as far as quality is concerned, and then try to match or elevate above that. And I would say we're at that point now where it's like, dude, the label is like one of the most popular virtual brands that you can find on mods, and it's fucking free. You don't gotta pay for it unless you want your name and number on it. Then you gotta fucking pay me. But that for me is like, I want consistency for the lettering and numbering on it. It'd be the same as if you went to any gear company and wanted to get your name and number on that. You're going to pay a little bit extra, but it's in their font. It looks official, and it's all that. So, yeah. Anyways, not to continue to drag this process on, we can definitely get into the show here. But this was, for all intents and purposes, like my thank you to all the people that have supported me over the last year. So yeah, without further ado, the label Year One.
Let's get into it.
Session MX Company. A graphic design project and MX Bikes team kicked off its partnership with the label brand in mid-2024. With a team and community full of familiar faces, they're always hanging out, having fun, and representing the label brand.
Stop.
So, do you want us to watch all of the session pieces, or do you want to go edit by edit for this?
I was gonna ask you. I'm fine with doing either.
Okay.
I can save my talking points and write them down, and we can do them all as a group, or we can break them down one by one.
Whatever you want to do, man. I think it might be easier to just go one by one, but for the sake of time, might be easier to just progress through the entirety of each portion. If that makes sense. Well, except for the second part, then we're gonna have to go one by one.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go one by one then. Let's just keep it consistent. We can do one by one.
Okay. So let's we'll talk about everything up until 3:10. So with the opening, any questions you had with that?
No questions. I just wanted to say I really liked when I first saw it that the hyper focus on, like, we're super pulled into the bike and the rider. That's really cool. I very cinematic. I'm trying to stay away from that word.
Mm-hmm.
But
I thought what it is.
Was a super cool touch just to see that, like, really getting it. Like, we don't see that with typical edits, right? So it kind of sets the tone of really how deep this is gonna, you know what I mean, as far as a piece of content. and just your
I
yeah, very
l-
cinematic. The and
I
just the
love
detail.
this.
You're highlighting how all the little things, right? And that's kind of the tone of all that. The reflections, all the little things that you don't really see when you're actually playing the game, right?
Right. And how good you can make this game look. And it's
Yeah.
like, and that was like the fun part, because this was the last thing that I shot before I released it. And I'm sitting there and I'm kind of looking at this body of work. I'm like, dude, like this isn't just like it, for all intents and purposes, all it is 35 minutes of straight moto edits the entire time with a little blurb and talking points and all of that. But I was like, well, how do I make this look more like a movie? And a movie, think of like, shit, dude, like Pirates of the Caribbean. They have these super close shots of like wood and medallions and all sorts of like unique elements to the story that stand out. And for this, it was like, yeah, dude, it's the fucking gear. It's the bike, and albeit it's, a little bit of moto, but a lot of it is the gear and like looking at it through a very close lens and the amount of detail that went into that. Which
Yeah, that's
I'll,
exactly what I was trying to say in a not so elegant way. Yeah.
right. And it's kind of like one of those things that you would see. It's a title card. It tells you exactly what this is going to be. It's not the same as like, oh, okay, like a credit scene where it's a bunch of thank yous. It's like, hey, these are the people that helped out with this project the most. Here's who did everything that was like a major part of this right up front, and then boom, we get sucked into it. Um I all right. So let's get into Moto's edit here.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on this?
My first playthrough when I first saw it, and then just going back because I've seen this many, many times before.
You still there?
And it's sprinkled throughout the entire edit. It's not like one piece of B-roll, right?
Yeah.
And that could be coming from a place of huge bias because I absolutely love this track.
Right.
But there are these elements, kind of touching on Hurin, little foreshadowing, like it's just utilizing the environment, right?
Right.
And I wanted to touch on it just a little bit, if anybody even cares, but it's not like you set out to be like, Moto, you're gonna ride Bamland, right?
No.
Or whatever. It's you were like, hey, I have this project in mind. Why don't you guys send me some replays? So it was very open to the people that wanted to be featured. And they, like you said, pick some gear and pick a track. And then, there's a lot of freedom with it. And you kind of worked with what you were given. You didn't have like this strict, I want these tracks, X tracks to be featured. So I just wanted that to be out there.
Yeah. 100%.
Which is super neat. To like, it was like a communal thing, right? It wasn't like, I want this project going to be this.
Yeah.
So,
well, and yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
The only stipulations that I set out to accomplish with this was like, hey, make sure it's a high quality track creator and no fucking ARL tracks. And the reason why
yeah.
is because you just wouldn't film at an ARL track. Now, I say this because I filmed a portion of my edit on an ARL track. However, you couldn't hear the fucking horns and you couldn't hardly see any of like the banners. And that was also, it's my home track, and I know exactly, and shout out to Stony and JV for putting that like Easter egg track on top of the hill at Millville, dude. That was such a fun one to film on because it's not like your typical, like if you look at Bamland, dude, there's tons of jumps everywhere. There's not a lot of jumps on that track. It looks like a fucking practice track and it's gnarly.
Yeah.
But you could still get some really cool shots up there utilizing that environment. So,
yeah, you did. You probably shot the coolest thing that I've seen ever. You know what I mean? And I don't know why it like that shot specifically, which we're kind of getting off topic here, but like that came out so good, but it came from like a not essentially like on the surface a like picturesque type of track to get like cool shots, big whips and stuff like that, right?
No,
So
dude. And like that one was fun because again, we'll talk about it when we get to that portion. So, not to get sidetracked, but yeah, the only stipulations that I had for this entire thing was no ARL tracks, and make sure it's more of like either compound style or let there shouldn't be a ton of stuff going on with like signage. I don't want to be plastering banners all over the place with, you know, all sorts of different brands and whatnot, because it makes it look more like a racetrack that you wouldn't film at, in my opinion. So that was my only stipulation.
right. Yep.
But yeah, going back to Bamland, dude, like this track is so fun to film on. It's so expansive. The environment's great. Hell Machine did a wonderful job putting this together. And man, it just really lets you kind of highlight so many different portions, and it feeds itself to having a longer form edit, which I wanted to have throughout this entire project. Is I was really trying to hit that 2 to 3 minute mark per section. Now there's longer ones and there's shorter ones, but for the most part I wanted to have kind of that sweet spot where it's like, all right, 2 minutes is pretty much like where I wanted that baseline to be. And if I could get you closer to 3 minutes, it felt a little bit better. So you actually got to enjoy your portion. And
Right. Well, like you said, it all boils down to you wanting to thank everybody that, you know, has supported you. And so
right.
giving them a nice, healthy edit would, you know, that they could be proud of and be like, oh yeah, you know, that's me and I look cool. You know,
Right.
that was
Right.
the end goal. Yeah.
And Motos was so fun because there's only a couple of sections, and I will say this, so like 99% of the riding that is in this project is done by the actual people.
Yeah.
Like I only did a little bit of B-roll for everybody because I told them, don't worry about it. I will figure out how to do it because I'm going to be really particular about how I want things to be displayed.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And if I had people send me what they thought was good B-roll, just really wasn't there. Also, everybody has their own style of riding, man. Like it's nice to be able to see the nuances between each player and understand. Like I think the only one that I had to refilm completely was Gurn's. And that was because Gurn had a really weird style about him that it was just very difficult to film. And I told him that. I was like, look, dude, I'm sorry, but there was like 3 shots that I was able to salvage from the replays that he sent me. And I had to go back and just do the riding as best as I could with his kit on, just so it looked better.
Well, I was going to say, at the end of the day, you know, it's MX bikes, and
Right.
we all know how goofy the game can look. So,
Yeah.
developing a riding style, like say, you're trying to, you know, go fast as shit for ARL, you're not going to make it look pretty. You know what I mean, right?
Right.
So,
And
no, I understand.
There's people that make like going fast and also make it look good. But for the majority of people, and it really boils down to the whips. So like when you sit down in the air in this game, it will cause an effect that we call like breaking your elbow. So like your elbow will rotate unnaturally far forward. And I didn't know that for the longest time until I started looking at footage. And dude, it's like super unnatural looking. But yeah, there's all sorts of nuances to this game to make it look good. But yeah, for the majority of it, dude, this is everybody's putting in all of their riding, and it honestly, it was just like super cool to put together. But dude, Motos was so fun. Yeah. The song selection,
yeah, well, that's exactly what I was going to touch on. You know, the vibe I think it's a great opener, and you know that was probably on your conscience too of making a big piece is the mood and everything, right? We can't have it all high intensity all the time, right? Because then it loses
Right.
its flavor. But you want a strong open.
Mhm.
So I was just going to touch on too, just stitching everything together in a big enjoyable piece where it everything makes sense was
Mhm.
probably pretty difficult, you know, on
Oh,
top of, you know, trying to make an edit, but you're making edits fit with other edits, right?
right. Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
and that
Yeah.
that was like a really difficult thing to do is like who goes where, right? And I guess it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things because they're all going to be kind of the same. But to start and end this project, it needs to have good bookends, right? So if I were to start this off with like a super high energy song and a super high energy edit, it just didn't feel right. Like a nice slow transition into it was what I really set out for. And this song in particular is so good because it like the color grading and everything is super warm, it's lighthearted, it's fun, and it really just it made sense because it matched the environment. Um but yeah, I want to talk about this shot coming up here in particular. This was arguably one of the hardest shots to get for this entire project. And it doesn't look
It's
like
like kind of
much.
back panning almost off camber-ish, like
Mm,
because this part of the track obviously curves, right? But you're
yeah.
trying to keep him
Yeah.
almost not like locked, but you're trying to keep pace with him, but he's also turning.
Yes. So it would be the same as like and we've seen dude, I've seen so many of this style in this exact section. I think I saw Pax had it in his, uh Seawalk had it in his, where you're trying to
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
keep the rider in the center of the shot as you're progressing through the environment. So for all intents and purposes, like we call this either a dolly shot or like you'd be filming it from the back of like a gator or a drone, what have you. But doing that for a turning rhythm section, bro, the timing, dude, I probably attempted this shot 30 times before I was like, I need to be done. Like, that was good enough. It's fine. Like, we got to move on. Yeah. Like, just trying to keep him in frame at the same distance. And then as I'm getting towards the end of that progression, I'm actually like slowing the pace down so he will go out of frame completely while
Yep,
turning.
gotcha,
And I'm
gotcha.
like, dude, God, this is just so much work. Yeah, dude, super fun. The B-roll, and like, I get it. I shouldn't throw stones in a glass house because I was really hard on people that had stationary bike footage on the stand. And I think the reason why I don't like it is because I've seen it a ton. However, if it's done for a short period of time and it's tasteful, like I think I only had what, one shot of that? Yeah, I'm like 99% sure. Yeah, that's like the only shot that I had of that bike. So you can still do it, right? Like you can't, I'm not going to sit here and say you can't do that shot. Like make it short, make it sweet. Do it at the end. Don't do it at the beginning
Well,
or if
well,
you
this shot
yeah.
had a purpose, right? Because you're highlighting Session MX, right? It
Mhm.
wasn't necessarily the entire kit. You don't have like four different angles.
Right.
You know, there was a purpose behind it.
Right. And not to say that people don't have a purpose when they do a shot of a stationary bike, because I've done it in the past too. But it's always like really quick. Just bang bang boom. Get it. Do your couple of seconds of it, highlight the bike, and then move on. But yeah, motos, super fun to film, dude. I had a blast. Like this one was really fucking cool. And it's like the perfect opener to this entire
I was just about to
project.
say, no, it's a great opener. Yeah.
Like there was not a lot that I had to really think about when I was like, what one do I really want to open with? No, I want to open with this one. It's a great song, great mood, and it's not jarring. So, but yeah. Then let's get into we'll go into Gurns now, unless you had any final thoughts that you wanted to share on that last one.
I just had a question actually. Where in the submission process did Moto, like, where did you film out of everybody? Was he the first one that you filmed, or was he like the
So
second or third one?
so technically the first person that was filmed was mine. And the reason why, and it was the second half of mine, but Moto's was pretty quickly after that. The reason
Okay.
why is I was doing a bunch of race streams and I wanted to have a trailer for this that was like, not,
Yeah, I remember.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Going back to yours. Yeah.
yeah. And I didn't have any at that point in time because that was like November, I think. November or December. I can't remember. I was streaming. All I know is I was doing some Supercross series or something along that lines, and I wanted to have a trailer that I could start to build some hype around this project a little bit, and so that's what I ended up using as the first one because I already had the footage, essentially. But I'll get into that when we take a look at my portion of this. But Moto was shortly after that. He was one of the first people to actually like send me his stuff and to get
Okay.
it filmed. For all intents and purposes, I had collected replays from the month of October until December, I think. Yeah, that would make sense because I wanted to have everything there at my fingertips before I started filming. So he might have
Right.
been second or like maybe third at the most. But yeah, he was very early on as far as like the submissions are concerned.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I never asked on like when everybody was like submitted, like their time frame on when
Mm.
you filmed them. So
Yeah, I think the last person to get their stuff filmed was Diaz. He was a late entry because I had already started like showing the first drafts when he sent his stuff in. So
oh, okay, gotcha.
he might have been the last couple to be filmed, but yeah, Moto's was very early on in the process. And not that it was shot any differently. I think what you will see is across the board, these are all kind of shot the same, and it makes sense. They're all shot by me, and I have a very particular style, and yeah, it can make it stale, and that was something that I battled through this entire project. Was like, dude, how do I make this seem like it's not the same fucking thing for 35 minutes? And I don't know, dude. It was a really difficult process to go through. It's like, man, I don't know how else to film, right? Like I have a style.
Right. Yeah. It's you. So,
Mm-hmm.
and with a high quality project like this, you didn't probably feel comfortable branching out to do something else. Well, number one, you had so much work on you, right? You didn't want to
Right.
try to learn something or try to chase something that you didn't know. And
Yeah.
no, I could totally see that. But I don't think you needed to do anything new or crazy. I think which you nailed it, in my opinion. You gave everybody their very high quality thank you
Mm-hmm.
in a really cool project and made it all wrap up nice together, which everybody will see.
100%.
Yeah, try not to stroke your ego too much, but I really do. I really enjoy this project, and it really shows how much time and how much thought went into it. Which that's just straight up my alley. I love high quality stuff. So
Right. How did you think this compared to GRD Year One?
oh man, so what better? It's so much more intimate would be a word, probably, just because of more communal, right?
Right.
It was more open rather
Mhm.
than, I mean, GRD Year One, awesome. That was more of a fun piece.
Right.
I that laid kind of the groundwork for this,
Right.
probably for you too, of saying, hey, I actually like doing these big projects. But GRD was more of a fun piece of just like, hey, not to the level of saying like thank you and stuff, but you were highlighting, it was more of a, not a set piece, but like kind of accenting like, hey, this is a bigger project, and really it was just meant for the teammates, right, that were really active and doing that sort of thing, showing recognition. But this kind of the label Year One amplified that, right? So
Right.
now you have teams that are supporting you. Now you have your actual team,
Right.
and this was just I don't know, bigger and better version of GRD Year One.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd have to agree. Like, just in quality alone, with the shots and everything that went into it.
Yes,
Yeah.
skill, style, all of it.
I will say this, dude, your portion, which you got snuffed this time. You didn't get to be the opener for this edit or for this big project. But your
which
portion
is
was,
perfectly fine.
dude, like the way that it opens in the B-roll alone was so fun. Also, A Day to Remember just beats ass. So like
Oh, dude, yeah, absolutely.
I thought that was a really fun way to open it. And I think while they're completely different title cards in its own right, the way that it just kind of is, like, gets right into it. It's completely different style, and then you finally see as it like fades to white, you see the title card of Year One, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, sick.
Right,
So
right.
the stylistic
Like
choice,
cold open, yeah. Oh,
yeah,
100%, yeah.
it was just cool to see the differences between the two. But yeah, no, definitely think this one was a step in the right direction as far as quality is concerned, and just sheer size. It's like double the amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into Gurns. This one was really fun too.
Yeah, see here, you're building the
The handicap shit, dude. I love it.
oh fuck. I just want to talk over it because you're building the environment, like you're giving life to it, like
Right.
more than MX bikes should have,
Right.
I'm just gonna say it, right? No, it's too fun.
Your favorite shot ever? All right.
Yeah, dude.
Gurns was fun. And I think I don't know. I'll let you say your piece. Go ahead.
Well, just to, go back to what you were saying, you didn't want things to get stale, but when you do stuff like that, how is that going to be stale?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was God, see, like Gurn is such a well-known person inside the community. Like, I know we have our own little kind of secret corner that we just kind of stay quiet and do whatever the fuck we want to do, and I'm sure there's tons of things like that.
Right.
But like if you go and like look at like the big bike servers on Discord, dude, he is everywhere. And I mean everywhere. He's been nothing but a legend to this entire community. And he always loves doing shit like this. Anytime I ask for replays, dude, he's like one of the first people to send me shit. So when he sent me this, he again has that riding style that is like what we talked about, where it was very difficult to film because he's trying to go fast and it can lend itself to be a little wonky. So a majority of this was filmed, and like the actual riding was done by me, just because after the fact of shooting it, I was like, God, if I want to make this look as good as it can be, I need to refilm a lot of this. And it's going to be really hard as even an editor of, I would say, better quality to hide a lot of that shit.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So a majority of it was filmed, the riding by me, but what I wanted to set out was, like you said, when we started this, was like breathing life into it, right? Because this isn't just MX bikes. It is on its face, but like, hey, let's do some voiceover work. Let's add some environment sounds. Let's really fucking do the thing. And throughout this piece, it was very much like, we got a fucking generator running. We have a radio, like a Bluetooth speaker off in the background. We've got a skid loader or a bulldozer in the background. We've got bike sounds. We've got head turns. We've got people talking. Like it feels natural, like what you would see in like a vlog or something along those lines.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like a vlog, you're like somebody just pulled out their phone walking trackside. Like this is what you would encounter, all these sounds and stuff.
Right. And that's something that I have found really fun. And so like sound design, right? So when we talk about sound design, we're usually talking about like special effects or sound effects, something like that accentuates the actual footage and riding. So like your whooshes, your clicks, whatever, that kind of help the transition seem a little bit larger than life.
Yeah.
But what really is fun for me is doing the cinematic sound design. So your environment sounds and making it sound like you're actually there. Like instead of it being a camera lens, putting that actual person in that environment. I mean, no pun intended, but behind the lens, and they're seeing this in real time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And that was the whole portion. Like the footage and everything is great, and it's fun. It's got a good song behind it, but the whole reason that this one stands out is the environment sounds and the B-roll. The B-roll, bar none, is the best in the entire project, no doubt.
Oh, well, yeah, because there's just so much going on and it's so in your face, right?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, 100, like this one was really fun to shoot. I mean, I just love it. It's just like get the head turn a couple of times, looking at the people. It just like it feels like you've got, you're sitting there at your truck in front of this jump, and your buddy's gonna go fucking. He's like, "Oh, hey, hold my beer, watch this," type of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
And now he's gonna go huck a turn down or a oppo off this jump and just absolutely yards himself. And it like, okay, so I get it. I know we harp on shots being super long, and this is an incredibly long shot, but the way that it's filmed is it just feels natural, right? It's like B-roll, but there's, you're just kind of like click and record on your camera, and you're just like, oh, what the fuck is he gonna do?
Exactly. Well, you got the shake, so it's like somebody's cell phone, right?
Yeah,
And then he fucking dies, and then you have the drop of like, oh shit, like they're gonna go run over to him.
yeah, right, and like that was the fun part, right? Like it wasn't supposed to be like, this super serious thing. Like, hey, we can shoot this really cinematic piece because it opens with like, a hyperlapse with really grainy film texture and all sorts of other stuff, and it's like, oh shit, okay, like this is different. This isn't what you can normally would see through an edit, and then it's like, oh no, this guy's still just having fun, doing some fun stuff with it. So yeah, I don't know. Anything else that you wanted to highlight on this one?
No, I mean, obviously, this the point of this one was what we were talking about, and yeah, just super fun, and I love the voiceover, and I love the handy cam B-roll stuff. Like that's by far my favorite. Not to say that the edit itself isn't great, um, shots are awesome. The music is really hype and fun, but that's what this piece is fun, and I think you knocked this one out of the park.
Yeah, this was definitely like just a fun piece. It wasn't supposed to be as serious as some of the other ones are, and I don't know how like serious you want to get with a bikes edit, but for Gurn, and if you know Gurn inside the community, dude, there's like maybe one other person that's less serious, and it might be me when it comes to stuff. But dude, this guy, I don't know if he's ever said anything that isn't like super sarcastic and just.
Okay, yeah.
But the way he presents himself, like he knows what's going on. People know him, and he could definitely help you, and he's always willing to help. But like, dude, he'll say some stuff, and you're like, I don't know. But like this, just this B-roll that like speaks to me as like, yeah, this is Gurn's personality. He'd be the type of guy to be like, hey, watch this, and then just absolutely yard himself. And it's like, yeah. But yeah, no, super fun piece. And like you said, the edit isn't groundbreaking by any stretch of the imagination. It's the B-roll, the environment, and that was kind of what I pitched for this piece was. And I think you and I kind of talked about this like after it got released, and we watched through it and did like the final watch through after it was released, and it was like, dude, this is kind of a culmination of everything that I've been working towards as far as skills over the last couple of years with video editing. And this right here is the environment setting, like bar none.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Well, like you said, just the sound design and everything that encompasses that. I'm not trying to repeat everything you said, but bulldozer, like you doing a voiceover, the bike sounds, the speaker, all of those little things, it just on their own would be cool, but since they're all together, there's so much depth with that, and that's all sound design. That's not filming. I mean, I guess the bike sounds would be part of the filming, but you know what I mean? Like what's super cool is the thought that went into this. You know what I
Right.
mean? You made a little mini story about it.
Right.
you
It's
like you cherry picked everything that you wanted to do with it. Like it's so cool.
no, it was really fun. A really awesome piece to just put together, and like you get the full circle, kind of the redemption arc where he actually hits the damn thing at the end, and then you
Exactly.
got
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. Absolutely tossed
yeah,
it.
dude, it's
and
so
got it and then celebrate it. Yeah.
like this is like that is insane on a Cowie 250 nonetheless. Like that jump, if people haven't played the Grant Ranch by Hearn, that jump is so big on a 250, and the amount of times it took to get that cranked over like that and then bring it back, dude.
Yeah.
You leave the face and you're just wicked the entire time, just fucking praying. You could even tell, like, when you get to see the like come or trying to like bring it back, like I land so sideways,
Yeah.
dude. It's like right there, like
yeah. Hey, but you had the momentum to push you forward.
oh, dude, you just land wide open and pray.
Yep.
And then it's the oh Jesus moment, lands full throttle, just boom, fucking bails. But yeah, dude, super fun edit. The storytelling behind it was really that's what I wanted to highlight out of that entire one, is just like, God, it was so much fun. And yeah, like that piece was probably the best across the board as far as environment setting goes. Yeah.
Well, it's makes it really rewatchable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, that one specifically, yes. Because it's so lighthearted and no glaring issues, obviously. But it's fun. It's different. It's
Right.
not your typical like like we've said in the past, run of the mill. It doesn't follow that template.
Right.
It's very different, and again, I'm going to say it again. It's fun.
Yeah. No. And I really wish more people would put kind of fun B-roll stuff like that in, obviously not Instabanger content because it does eat up a lot of time, but just like your standard edits that are like a minute 30, 2 minutes long. I really wish people would tell a little story, have fun with it, you know?
Oh, absolutely. I love the little tricks. Well, going back to GRD, um, on Sean's edit, you had the smoke coming out,
Yes.
walking around a little bit. Just like
Yeah.
all the little things, right? It's
Mhm.
you go a little bit deeper in the creativity, and it's super cool to see.
Yeah. And dude, somebody that's really good at it is C. Dude, C can tell a story through this game so good. Or Biggs.
Absolutely.
Dude, Biggs is so good at it. Like, that's when I saw him do what he did with No Namers, I'm like, dude, how the fuck? How much time did that go? And even Pax did it with Synergy. Like, he had that same
Right.
style of like handy
Yep.
cam stuff, and we're doing all this, like, there's just a little bit more effort goes into it. And I get it, dude. It takes a long time. Like, these handy cam shots are difficult to do. And I will say this, like, I committed a lot of cardinal sins that I'm pretty staunchly against when it comes to moto edits with the snap zooms, but I think with handy cam work and it looks really shaky, it's like, okay, yeah, like, no, this looks good. Like, you would be able to do a digital zoom.
Push the red line if you want a headline. Can you turn it up? Can you turn it up? Push the red line if you want a headline. If you want.
Hold on one second. My internet is absolutely going bonkers right now. I have no idea what just happened. I just got a ton of drop frames for some reason. So I want to do that. Uh-oh. Come on.
Oh no.
Let's see if it'll work. All right, we're back. I think it's Brandon
Okay,
just
cool.
connecting me.
Push the red line if you want a headline. Can you turn it up? Can you turn it up? Push the red line if you want a headline. If you wanna push the red line if you want a headline. Can you turn it up? 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 Push the red line if you want a headline. Can you turn it up? 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 Push the red line if you want a headline. Can you turn it up? Can you turn it up? Push the red line if you want a headline. If you wanna push the red line if you want a headline. Can you turn it up? 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 Push the red line if you want a headline. Can you turn it? Can you turn it up?
Trident race. All right. Yeah, dude. Okay, so like Dios is fun, but it's just more I would put it more in the caliber of like Instabanger, right? Like this is very templated in my opinion.
I would agree. Yeah, it's obviously more focused on the rider feature.
Mm-hmm.
You had some really cool shots in there. Obviously I called them out. But the vibe I get with this, with the music and everything, is that you're actually really showing like this guy knows how to ride a bike. That's the vibe I feel. I love this shot too. I didn't say this, but this step up shot is so cool.
Dude, Dios fucking shreds, bro. He's so fast.
Well, the vibe. I don't know if this was your intention, but that's kind of the vibe I got with his edit. Is like you're showing a really skilled rider. You're just letting him do his thing, right?
Yeah, dude. He like this is all him. But yeah, dude, this shot right here is so good. And I mean, that's just a testament to fucking JV, man. Like, oh, how can you? Like, it's so difficult to make this game look this good. And, you know, as video editors, we love utilizing high quality tracks. And I just don't think it gets any better than a JV track, man. I love filming on his stuff, dude. It's so good. It's so high quality.
Let's take it back a little bit, right? Because we're on this really cool, like, well, just the track itself. I love this little swoopy, chicane switchback area. You can see all the lines, you see all the ruts, but let's go off the track. You see all the dozer tracks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You don't see that stuff when you're on the track racing your heart out, right? But the level of detail, like there's a lot of stuff to look at. It's so cool. And you have, the pond in the background. Like it's a really pleasing to look at.
Right. And I will say this. This was the only repeat track in the entire project. And
okay, sure.
Like I tried to set out to like have everybody find their own unique spot to film because I wanted to film on cool spots. The outdoors track did not get repeated, but Goat Farm, dude, there is so many edits that I have filmed on this track because of how fucking good it is, dude. It's so good. The Supercross tracks are fun. They're easy in a sense. They're not like, you're going to be able to like just kind of shut your brain off and go. But you really, if you've played this game long enough, like you kind of can. Like they're not that punishing. There's some difficult lines, and whatnot. But dude, they were so fun to film on. The outdoor track, I loved filming on this for the rain edit I did was filmed on the outdoor track because it just
Right.
it's such a good environment, dude. But yeah, like if you just look around, like everything, the trees in the background, the way that they're placed, the objects that he uses, they're not that like typical object that gets used. I don't know whose tree objects those are, but I think JV has his own, and it really matches the environment of the goat farm. Like these are trees that you would most likely find out there in Florida, Georgia. I can't remember. I think it's Georgia.
I think
Might
it's
be,
Georgia. Yeah.
might be Florida. I don't know. It's like right on the border, but yeah, dude, so fun. But yeah, Dios shreds, and that was kind of, I wouldn't say that was my intent, but there wasn't really anything that I wanted to, really drag on or drive a point home. This was very much a templated edit for this one. Not a ton of B-roll. We get a little bit of me fucking around on the pit bike track in his kit
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
doing some B-roll there. But like for all intents and purposes, I was like, dude, I just want to showcase this guy going as fast as he possibly can around this. And man, he doesn't see when he doesn't throw like those big absolute tosser whips that you would see. It's very racy. So you get the race style of whip, which looks really good in this game because it's not overdone. You don't get weird glitches or anything like that with the physics or the animations. Like it's really smooth. Not that he can't toss a really nice whip, but dude, like having just some of the easier, more what you would see out of somebody that's just kind of shredding a practice track and not trying to absolutely send it. But dude, his corner
But
speed.
I mean, he's absolutely sending it everywhere. I was just gonna say he's fucking hauling ass through this section here.
Yeah, this corner is just railing. And dude, I love this shot here. I've seen it done a lot, and people do it a lot as editors, right? They do that kind of they do it full speed and then they slow it down, get a little bit tighter of an image. And I did it a couple of times in this just because I think I wanted to kind of accent and like really highlight, like, dude, this guy is shredding, and I mean flying around this track. But if it's overdone, it can be a lot, and I think you get, I don't know, max is like 2, depends on the length of the edit, right? So I don't know. I'm not going to put a hard line in the sand there. It really just depends. So no,
I actually enjoyed you doing that on this corner because it almost is like, holy shit, he is flying,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, dude, Diaz shreds. He's so fast. And I remember mentioning that to Veggie. I was like, dude, when the fuck did you have somebody that just goes this fast on your team? I did not know. Like, I've never heard of him before. And then I'm like, oh shit, dude, this guy fucking rails, dude. But yeah, nothing like super spectacular. Actually, I did want to highlight. Okay, so the fun part about Diaz's B-roll is the hyperlapse.
I was gonna say,
this is so good. Like, his hyperlapse looks so sick, and the title card and everything. It's just like you get the wind with the clouds, and then
how you frame the shot of where you wanted to start this.
You get the flag motion, dude. Oh man, it's like
this is great.
Use your environment, guys. Use your environment and get some stock footage. Who cares? It looks super cool. Just use your environment. Not everything has to be the rider kit. Not everything. And dude, if somebody put this in an Instabanger, I'd be like, all right, hell yeah, dude, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does take some time to get right and make it look good. Like you can tell, like the grass and whatnot is like pixelated and whatnot, and like these trees, it's really hard to mat those out in post production with like a green screen and shit. So it can get difficult, especially with depth of field. But we're not focused on that. Like I really wanted to drive home like, all right, is the jump face clean? Is this kind of out here pretty clean? Okay. Like let's try to, really make this look as good as we possibly can. And like you've got a ton of motion blur. You don't see them in the frame super long. Yeah. Super fun. That and the overhead shot of the chicane are probably like my two favorite shots out of this entire one.
I'd add this one. Yeah, for sure. A lot of camera work, I guess, on this one
Yeah.
would be kind of my pick. Not saying that this was your goal, but really that stuck out to me, and just the fact that the dude's fast as shit.
Yeah. Hauling. Yeah, this one had just like for all intents and purposes, like what you would expect out of a boilerplate SCD edit, in my opinion.
Yeah, which is why I think I like it so much. Right? It's what I'm used to coming out of you. Like it's great. Like there's in my opinion, there's no complaints.
Right. Yeah, it's not super flashy. There's not a lot as far as B-roll is concerned. We get a cool hyperlapse, and yeah, it's just kind of boilerplate. But yeah, dude, fucking fast fucking dude on a bike.
It makes me feel bad.
Yeah, I suck. Yeah.
If he races ARL, he's got to, right?
Yeah. Dude, okay,
Yeah.
so like a little bit of piercing the veil here, looking behind the curtain, right? So there's two people on session that for the longest time, Dios had a 3-digit number, which was 184, and then Veggie picked up another guy that also liked to run 184. And I had to tell him, I'm like, dude, one of these people has to pick a different number. I don't know who it is, don't really give a shit. But I'm not doing this. I'm not going to make 2 sets a gear just with my naming conventions and all that shit. I'm like, this is way too much work. Just have them pick a different fucking number. So then, it didn't happen. So then I just stopped sending gear for one of the persons. And then it was like, oh, okay. Well, Dios has a 2-digit number, and he wants to run a 2-digit number. And I sparked this fight in their team chat, I'm pretty sure, where it's like, hey, I told him he stole my number for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm too lazy. But then there was another guy on session that has 223, which is Dino's number. So now I'm just like, God.
Oh, so now there's like a team fight. Oh.
Yeah, so he just gets an F in parentheses for female. I don't know who. I think it might be Pharma or something along those lines. But yeah, I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm not gonna bitch. I'm not gonna make Dino change his number because he's been that number forever. And anytime that we do any sort of race series, I'm always like, hey, go get whatever number, and then I'll make you gear for it. Doesn't really matter. I'm just not going to make duplicates of stuff so you can run 223 on Monday, and then on Wednesday when you go race, you get a different number. Like, we're just not doing that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like, well, maybe I want to be number 64 today, and then put on this. And it's like, oh, well, actually, Dino's not the worst of it, dude. SZA changes his number and his bike. Dude, weekly, I swear to God. I think he was 203 for the longest time. And then he's like, hey, can I get all of this gear in 90? And then he came back like 2 weeks later. He's like, actually, I have a 2-digit number for ARL. So now it's 93. And I'm like, Why do you do this to me? I
Just fucking pick one.
just pick one, dude. Are you submitting your kits to the? I mean, I would hope so, because I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna submit it. But who knows? Who knows? I don't really give a shit at the end of the day. And whatever, running the gear, and doesn't want to. He wants to run Fox boots and a Fox helmet, and then Higgins wants a Bell helmet. I'm like, dude, can you? We got one helmet.
Right.
You run the A-Stars helmet, and you like it. But no, the two fastest guys on the team.
Yeah, that's the thing is they're the fastest, unfortunately.
Right. Like, if you were asking me if you could have a different helmet, I'd be like, pound sand. No.
Fuck you.
No. You don't even fucking play anymore, so who cares? You run the A-Stars, and you be happy about it. When you start putting yourself in the top 40 for ARL, then we'll talk. Oh,
yeah, those days are not gonna even try that shit anymore.
No, I don't have the fucking wherewithal to go through that shit again.
Not at all.
Oh fuck. All right. We digress. Anyways, do you want to get any final thoughts on this one?
No, we're good.
All right, sweet. Yeah, like I said, this wasn't like a super like intensive edit for me. He was one of the last ones, and I just kind of like got after it. Filmed a cool one.
Yeah. Did what you're good at. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Can you turn it up?
Trident Racing. Established in 2024, this team of seasoned racers has a passion for speed and camaraderie. Focused on enjoying the thrill of racing, Trident blends competition with fun, creating the perfect balance of both excitement and good times.
I wanna live, wanna fly, wanna feel it all. Run so fast that the lights all stop. I wanna touch, wanna cry, wanna feel more. Dance so slow to the music of. I want ya, don't need ya. Coming to save ya. I love ya, I'll leave ya right now. I'm in it for the slow dive. Test the water till it's just right. Light a fire, baby, let it die. Wait a minute for it, cause I'm in it for the slow dive. Falling for you for the last time. I'll be gone before the tears dry. Wait a minute for it, slow dive. Slow dive. Slow dive. Slow dive. Slow dive.
So
Yeah, no, I know this is probably not your favorite one, the track specifically,
yeah.
because and I don't want to answer for you, but you said this was kind of hard to film on. You just didn't like the flow of the track and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this one was difficult.
I think it lends itself perfectly to the project because it's almost like a step, not step back. It's a reset almost. Like it's a very, very what am I trying? It's an MX Bikes edit that everybody's come to love, right? Not templated, but we got some really cool, EDM music. We have our negative space. We can go back to the rubric that we normally, grade stuff on. I think this fits perfectly with that. Got some cool B-roll. You know, not necessarily a stationary bike, but you're highlighting the kit.
Right.
And it's not. I didn't get the feel of you're doing anything super crazy, but you're doing a really well made MX Bikes edit.
Right.
Like I said, negative space. We're seeing that more. You're really tuned into the music, right? It's just very bread and butter that we're used to seeing out of SCD, in my opinion. I really love this shot too. I know you don't like this track, but I love this kind of off camber helicopter angle
Right.
of the whoops. And yeah, and to spice it up a little bit, you going above and beyond with the B-roll, in the beginning and the end here. So it really kind of elevates this. And I don't mean basic, but you know what I mean? Back to basic type of edit.
Right.
And then like kind of spiced it up with some really cool B-roll. I think it broke up or not even broke up, but kind of changed the feel of the project so far. Is, like I said, almost like a reset to kind of home base of like, we're in this for the MX Bikes edits, not all this crazy shit going on, which is super cool, but we don't want to overdo it, right? So I think this is a perfect spot and perfect edit for this.
Yeah, this one was really like, I mean, you touched on it, like, dude, it was so tough because this track, this Supercross track in particular, doesn't lend itself to any sort of like flashy riding, right? Not even, especially for a 450. Like, you don't ever really hear that bike on the pipe because the jumps are really small and they're scaled appropriately for how a 450 would go around this track. It's a short piece because the track is short, so we kind of had to fit in some B-roll and kind of go back to that kind of how like Gurn's B-roll was. It's not as good in my opinion, but it's still in that same same nature, but you don't have any of these big sends. All you have is like really realistic riding. Like it's not flashy.
Yeah.
It's like, man, this is just a factory test track, and that's what you're kind of going after. You're not going to have these insane whips on a factory supercross track. There's just not enough space. But you can get, you can really work with what you have in a sense. You get 2 jumps that you're going to be able to do some pretty big whips on and try to accentuate those as much as you can. But realistically, like, this one was difficult because I tried to find cool spots to film and cool angles, cool shots for a track that really does not lend itself easily to find those cool aspects of it. Yeah, I mean, I am pretty sure, yeah, this is a JV track, so like the environment's great, did an awesome job on it. The track, in my opinion, is pretty correct. Fuck, dude, it was really hard to put together even a piece of this caliber on this track. I would not film on this track again or try to, do another project on this one because it's just, there's not enough big jumps that you can
vibe, huh?
right. There's not enough big jumps that you can really get some cool shit out of. You can get some great realistic riding footage if that's what you're going for. You can maybe get, like, if you're going to do Instabanger stuff, I would do it here. If you're going to go for that like 30 to 45 second mark, yeah, you can get it done here. But if you're trying to do a 2-minute edit, dude,
sure.
Good luck. There's just not enough content there. So a lot of this was filler with negative space and B-roll on the front and back end to kind of help glue it all together, in my opinion.
Well, I don't think it's cobbled together by any means. I actually think it did the opposite and complemented, everything prior. Because you were branching out and doing all these different things, which is cool, but you kind of brought it back, which I think was nice refresher. So
100%.
I mean, I think, yeah, you could be critical, but I also think that needs to be recognized that I think it did its job. Not saying it's bad by any means.
No, it's not. This is not a bad edit. Like if we saw this on this show on a regular episode, it'd be like, yeah, dude, this is sick. But
Yeah.
as far as this project as a whole and like what I know is coming up and what we've seen already, it doesn't blow my mind. There's nothing here that I'm like, oh, damn. I will say this Husky kit was really fun to make. They're not
Oh, okay. Yeah.
they're not supported by SCD anymore. Unfortunately, they kind of went their own direction. And I completely understand. I get it. Like I'm not gonna sit here and try to drag them through the mud, but Trident always had they always kind of let me do whatever I wanted when it came to their stuff. They were a very open book, which is really nice because and this is completely detracted from this project and whatnot. But when working with X-Boom and Loot and those guys, dude, they're great dudes. They were always awesome customers. They've supported the brand from for a while. They just kind of took their own direction at the end, and I get it. But when it came time to do kits, they're like, hey, these are the colors that we want. Go crazy. I'm like, all right, cool. Do you want chrome on your Husqvarnas? And then I would send them their kits, and they're like, dude, what?
Yeah.
But dude, this Husky kit was so fun to make, and dude, honestly, their KTM, I released that as like a pre-built kit a while ago. There is a ton of people that order that kit as a pre-built kit for whatever reason.
Okay. Hell yeah.
But like, no, these guys were sick. Expo, when he first contacted me for a sponsorship, I was like, yeah, sure, man. You got like 3 guys. Like, this is pretty easy work. Nothing crazy. He's like, hey, how would you feel about if I ordered every set of gear in your catalog? And I'm like,
Holy shit.
Bro, that's so much. Dude, it was like, I don't know, close to 120 sets of gear just for like 3 guys. And yeah, dude, you want to talk about work, bro. That was some effort putting in there. Man, it took a long time, but they paid me well. They were awesome people to be a part of their team and worked with those guys. But yeah, super cool team to work with. And yeah, just kind of showing my thank you here. They had definitely, they didn't have the most flashy edits. I will say this, the B-roll at the end. Okay, so that was a really fun piece to shoot because for the first time, and I think the only time in this edit, you get a music transition. So
yeah, into the next
edit. And I had thought about doing that for all of them, but I was like, maybe, but probably not. It just seems like a just not worthwhile thing to do. But for this, I was like, yeah, this makes sense. I'll tie it together. I'll tie these 2 pieces together. And Vibins was really fun to make. That was such a cool track, cool environment. Shout out TC. Typical Canadian dude. He does some awesome track work. But yeah, I don't know. Like, what are your final thoughts on this one?
Final thoughts are again, environment. I don't even know what track this is. I do remember when I first watched it. Another thing that I wanted to going with the contrast that I was talking about was the just the color of the track, the white sand. Kind of broke up, what we were visually looking at before. I just like the change of pace of this one specifically, and just, and I don't mean this in a negative way by any means, but going back to the run of the mill type of edit,
right?
Almost like a reset of like what's coming forward. And I don't mean like this is the stepping stone or anything. I'm really not trying to say that, but it just I think it filled its role in this piece very well. is all I really have to say. It's good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, again, like, dude, if we had bangers wall to wall to like,
I guess that's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? And not saying this isn't good, but we can't have the flashy stuff all the time because that's going to get stale because there's no for us to feel anything. We need highs and lows, right?
right.
We
Well,
can't just have everything stagnant.
yeah, you're gonna get fatigued so easily, and that's
Exactly.
like if we had
So
instant,
that's what I'm trying to
yeah.
say. It's lending its job while maintaining the quality.
100%, 100%. But yeah, super. It was fun in its own right because it's not this like big flashy, big whips, fast riding style of edit. Like, man, this looks pretty natural, like what you would see from a high production value moto edit at a test track. And this is a baker's factory, I think. Yeah, this is definitely the KTM facility. So super super.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But yeah, I did like the B-roll at the end though. The little jump off the concrete pad through the grass.
Yeah, the head shake.
Yep.
Yeah. The ones that hate me the most look just like me. You tell me what that means. Make a slick comment and see what that brings. I seen it go down, we can reenact things. Extreme like BMXing. These boys pussy and they PMSing. People in the city see the movement occurring and say, my God, I wanna be in that scene. Damn right you wanna be in this scene. She had the video trying to be in this scene. Used to fantasize about being this scene. Bluegrass girl, but she got big dreams. Can't touch me, I got instincts. Locked in the house, but I'm plotting things. I
Love
brought a
that.
gang to the party with me. 5 white boys, but they not in sync. Fuck what y'all think. Fuck everything that you say about me. My dogs like to play Madden in 2K, but one thing they don't do is play about me. My homeboy Tyler, he playing South Beach. He told me this summer he gon' fix my jumper. I told Boy Wonder that we might got a thumper. I been tryna pop, now I'm on like Shumpert. Now they on my bumper. Green room chock full of all my comforts. Hotel room like heaven on earth. Got angels in my bed with some all white covers. Ace Pro Nemo, Lucy and Kiso, Sloop Clay Tufo, and I got a few more I call my brothers. I got a lot of flows and they all like butter. Ooh, you know what that means. I came home nice, but I'm going back mean. I'm about to globe trot when they know a vaccine. Motherfuckers act lost, but they know exactly what's going on. Made a meal and I don't know what to blow it on. I tell a critic shut up like my show is on. Gave a t-shirt to her, said throw it on. She want a mini high school classmates, I'm growing on. My peers ain't popping, they don't know what's going wrong. Y'all well dressed, but you ain't got soul and you just can't sew it on. I'm trying to tell y'all boys, I got a few songs I can sell y'all boys. I tried it back then, it was hell nah, boy. Now I'm in a box like a Kellogg's toy. The ones that hate me the most are like...
Yeah, dude, I really like that one. I really like that one.
Vibins was fun. His, like, first of all, their fucking gas kit looked fucking so good. But
yeah, that looks incredible.
Loved the chrome on it. But this right here, the aspect ratio change with the really, like what you would see with like a really wide angle shot, but the black bars and everything. And it's like the muffled music and whatnot. And then we get the, oh God, where is it? It's like here, I think, isn't it? Yeah. We're going to get this shot. The drone work in this one was really good too. Like they were a little drawn out, but yeah, this with the camera clicks.
Oh, dude, so good. Yeah.
Like this one was way more of the flare. The flash and flare is definitely
the tricks.
here.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Well, like you said, utilization of the aspect ratio change, the black and white, sound design, because you're changing how the song sounds in different parts of the edit. Even going back to the outro B-roll thing. I love the camera flicks too. That's so cool with the jump cuts and all that. I really think this one fits his name, vibing. You know, it's just a vibe, right? Where it's having fun and just like almost right, and just watching cool shit happen. I think that's why I like this so much.
Yeah. Well, and if you look at like how this edit is kind of like put together, it focuses a lot less on the riding than a lot of the others in this project. This is really environment heavy. So if we just kind of go through this, like, you know, you get the bike, then there's a lot of B-roll where it's that kind of camera shaky stuff. You get the rider, and the rider is in the shot a ton, but because it is a moto edit at the end of the day. But man, a ton of it.
Well, even this shot right here, I would say that's environment, right? Like, yeah,
Right.
we see the rider, but that wasn't really the main focus. The rider kind of just doing his thing in that shot.
Yeah, and like a lot of it is riding, but if you look at how long I hold on, this shot's
I was gonna
sick.
say, I love this shot. Yeah, I love this shot.
And it just it lends itself to like just really highlight the environment because he's out of frame. Ooh, there's some stuff that I definitely could have cleaned up with this one. Maybe I was just a little burnt out when I was working on it. But yeah, like you still see the rider, but it just the shot is primarily the environment the entire time. And just like how pretty and scenic this like woodland moto track is. Also, I don't know how anybody fucking rides this track, dude. The ruts are everywhere.
Oh, really? What track is it?
Musha Boom.
Okay.
Dude,
I don't know if I have that.
It's
It's cool. It's cool shit.
Yeah. It's gnarly. For sure. But there's some big fucking jumps. Yeah, no, this one was fun. I liked filming this one from not only from a B-roll standpoint, but just like the actual camera work and the shots, because it's not, again, it's a rider feature, but it's not. Like it really highlights.
Right.
It highlights a lot of stuff throughout the entirety of it. And the shots are longer. It's more like this one right here, dude. So cool, so pretty. You get you could see the sunlight poking through the trees just on these.
This looks like a screenshot or like a loading screen, you know, if you ask me, right? It's very, very scenic, very picturesque. Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, dude, that's great. And dude, everything that went into this was just so cool and different, and set it apart from a lot of the other edits in this project, because it was, dude, I mean, this has all of the tricks, all the flair that you would see. The transitions, there isn't like a ton of transition work here, but there's a lot of like the aspect ratio, the sound design, the B-roll, the camera clicks, the stills. Yeah, this one had a lot of flair to it, I would 100% say.
Yeah. And not necessarily like you needed to do that, but it was just fitting with this style that you were going for with this. Yeah.
This one was really fun to do, and it turned out so good. And like, I don't know, there really isn't anything that I have, like, aside from a handful of the shots where I maybe just didn't notice it because I was looking at it so often, that I could have maybe cleaned up some of the camera work a little bit just in post by trimming the shot a little bit. But yeah, like right here, so there's just a skosh of like static camera, and then it picks the shot up.
Okay. Yeah. Just like you were waiting for the rider to come up.
Yeah. So like that would be the only thing that I would say is that the camera work in this one is good, but it's not the best out of the entire thing. I will say the drone work in this is superb. It's so good.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Through
That
the
and
trees
the
and
B-roll
shit.
shots. Yeah.
Yeah, super fun. I enjoyed this one quite a bit. It was a really fun one to put together, and I always enjoyed filming on TC's tracks because, dude, he's super underrated. Like, he spends a lot of time on the environment. Not as much as, well, I guess I can't say as JV, but like, dude, he does a really good job. And this one was a really solid environment that he put together and a really fun track to film on. So shout out to Typical Canadian. This one was a really, really cool track, just with like how many shadows are in it. I will say it does lend itself to be very difficult to film on because there is a ton of shadows. So getting the lighting correct for exposure and color grading can be a little difficult. But this was all back when I was still using HDR and trying to get the most out of this game when it came to the images.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, like, still a super fun track. And yeah, I think this one definitely was super environment based as far as the shots were concerned. There's obviously riding in it, but it definitely, watching this again, I'm like, oh dude, I was just hooked on how cool this environment was and how scenic and picturesque it was, and I wanted that to be conveyed through this edit, this portion.
Yeah. Well, again, it gives us a different theme to look at instead of, just another bikes edit back to back, right? Like there's variety and little nuances with all of these put together, which is, I think why the project's so cool to me. Maybe on the surface level, somebody's like, oh, it's just another bikes edit, but when you really break it down to what you're watching, which maybe we're just super nerdy about this, whatever.
Oh,
There is, differences with it, which I think makes it super interesting.
yeah, and that's kind of, again, the cumulative theme of this project is, let's see the variety in what I as an editor can do. And this is selfish that we're spending the last 2 episodes of this podcast watching this, but for me it was like, man, this project took so much fucking time to put together and dial in, and there is differences across the board on all of these. They're not all the same. They're on different tracks. They're a different style of shooting, but not so different that you can't tell it's me filming it. It's
Right,
still,
yeah.
it's still SCD, but it's SCD focused in on, the environment, focused in on B-roll, focused in on like shredding, like the actual riding itself, focused in on telling a story. Like, this is what this one is highlighting, is like, hey, this environment's really cool, let's highlight the environment. Still obviously have your riding there, your meat and potatoes, your ice cream cone, but let's showcase something that's a little bit deeper and that message behind it. And that's kind of the theme of this, is how can we showcase the gear, how can we showcase the riders, how can we showcase the creators inside this space in a 35-minute time window. And
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. But yeah, man, I don't know. What are your final thoughts on this?
Just how cool this one is, how chill, how fun. I'm really bad at trying to pick different words. But yeah, just the environment, and really it really comes down to the feel with this one. Like I said, I know I'm repeating myself, but it really fits his name. It's a vibe. Like, we're just chilling, having fun. I think the music selection is great for, what his edit piece is trying to convey.
Yeah.
It's not like super hype. It's not
Mhm.
crazy crazy big whips or anything crazy. You know, like um, I don't know. No crazy section of whatever. It's just some cool footage in a really cool environment, and I think you nailed it.
Yeah. This one, again, right. If I had to say the one final thought out of this one was definitely like the tricks are there. The flair is there. The footage and the writing isn't isn't the flair in this one. The flair is the transitions, the sound design, the little nuances to it. There is a little bit of like camera work with the drone style stuff that is pretty spectacular in my opinion, but for all intents and purposes, like the writing and everything that went into this and the camera work for all the shots isn't what makes this edit. What makes this edit is the sprinkles on the ice cream cone, as we would
Yeah,
say.
kind of flexing the editing skills a little bit on this one. Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of what I set out to do is like, hey, let's make this one kind of cookie cutter footage, but let's add some spice to it to make the cookie cutter footage look a little bit better. So yeah, I think yeah.
Well, I was actually going to ask you, not to do like an outro or of sorts, but with that, um, going into these edits, did you have a goal of like this is going to be a kind of high paced, high action type of edit, or did you just start getting clips and you're like, well, maybe we can do this song, or like what was kind of your process to make these edits and kind of build the project from the ground up, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so I mean you've seen a lot of my content that I've put out probably essentially from the very beginning. Um a lot of my edits are put out with electronic music, and the easiest portion for me is because there's not a ton of singing in it, so you can kind of end it wherever and blend it easily. It also lends itself to be just a little bit easier to uh, have longer stuff. There's breaks and whatnot. So for these edits, when it came to song selection, I really tried to find a variety of music. Not what I normally would do. I wanted to branch out and find stuff that made sense for the footage. And we've talked about this on the show a lot, how important song selection can be, because a lot of the songs in here are popular in a sense, but they're older. Like this is a Jack Harlow song from 5 years ago that, well, maybe not 5 years ago, but it's pretty old as far as music is concerned, as with how fast content gets utilized and consumed in this country. But the main like electronic songs, those are deep dives. Those are songs that hardly anybody knows about, and they fit kind of that vibe where I know like, hey, this song is going to pair really well with footage just in general. And that's my own subjective opinion when it comes to edits just in general. But yeah, when picking the soundtrack for this, it's difficult because you need to essentially pick the song after you film this and then start putting that footage together. And what's really tough is when you pick a song and you start putting the footage to the song and then it just doesn't line up, or it's too short and you have to scrap it, and you basically have to start the edit completely over from scratch because your cuts are going to be different. And I've tried to make it work with songs in the past and it just never does. So I really try to drive home when I'm putting together something of this size and of this caliber is variety, not only in shooting, editing techniques, but also music. And that's really what I tried to drive home with this entire project is, hey, I can do it all and make it enjoyable.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think this is a testament that you can do the thing pretty good. So
there's a lot of people that are better than me, but yeah, no, I would say that I'm getting pretty good at this whole edit thing. And shit, man, I don't know what year 2 is gonna look like, man. It might be fucking bonkers now.
yeah, well, you've had a lot of big switches of workflow, equipment just since this came out. So yeah, can't even imagine.
Yeah. No, and there was a lot of lessons learned with this project. Like, first of all, don't give yourself a deadline. And I didn't give myself a deadline. I wanted it to be, on my own schedule, but knowing when to be done, because I would have probably tinkered with this for another 2 months had I not just said, you know what, it's done. I need to be done.
I need exactly step away.
Right. You have to know when it's good enough. And it might not, you might look at it again and be like, oh, I could have done this. And that's kind of the purpose of this show is not only.
Well, that's what you were doing with Vibins just now,
Right. Right. There's stuff
still
where
have that critical eye.
Yeah. And it's tough because when you're the creator, you see the glaring stuff right away, but you don't necessarily see the little nuanced stuff where after you've watched it again, after it's been released for 3 months, and you're like, oh shit, dude, like I definitely could have done that better. But you learn those lessons through reviewing your own content as much as people, well, maybe, I don't know. People probably watch their own content. I'm crazy about doing that because I always like to go back and rewatch it a ton of times after the fact and see like where are the mistakes and try to poke holes in it. So, and also like I have this show. We do this every fucking Tuesday. So if I can see holes in other people's stuff, I'll be able to find it in my own, hopefully. So I don't know, man. It's definitely interesting to kind of look at that through that lens. I never really thought about it when it came to the soundtrack. It was, yeah, it's just, I wanted to not have high energy the entire time. I wanted to highlight artists that I liked as well. Like Dive Liner was the first song. Gaslight is the song, and it's so good. It's an artist that I followed for a while because, dude, I listened to a fucking. If somebody asked me like, "Oh, what kind of genre of music do you listen to?" I'd be like, a shorter list would be like, what genres don't I listen to?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I listen to all sorts of shit. Like 4th of July, we were out watching the fireworks on the boat, and we're blaring Frank Sinatra, watching fireworks, drinking whiskey.
Good choice. Good choice. Yeah,
dude, it was such a fucking vibe, bro. Like piano, jazz, and I'm like, dude, this is amazing. It's so nice. But then you go out, you listen to some dad rock, then you listen to some hip hop, then you listen to some EDM, then you go, all right, we're sitting by the campfire, we're gonna listen to Zach Bryan now, and it's like, dude, I just appreciate music as much as I appreciate cinematics and film and all of that, dude. Art is really fucking cool, and if that is the one thing that I could say about this project is art is really fucking cool, and you can do really crazy shit with a video game that you shouldn't be able to make look this good.
Exactly. Yeah, I guess that's what kind of why I think is so interesting that we decided to do is, see the cool art with this little niche video game, which also in its weird kind of sense is cool art because I mean it's good enough for us to buy and play. You know what I mean? So it's very, very cool to see what people can come up with. And this is pulling way back just as a community.
Mm-hmm.
And see what we can do with this game. And because at its base, it's a very goofy, very strange game. But
Yeah.
when people can get their hands on it and well, like you,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of turn it into these cool things, it's so neat to watch.
Dude, and it's so crazy to think like, oh man, there is a billion graphic designers out there for this game, right? Like everybody's kind of doing their own thing with graphics. There's really high quality designers out there, but I feel like, man, it's always a fucking competition to be the best. I mean, you have to have a little bit of desire to be really good to get to that level. But it's interesting, like the editing community, you get a lot of egos when it comes to creators. And for me, like, dude, I just have fun doing this. I know that I can make quality shit and I'm always trying to improve. And I've gotten to this level where I'm like, I'm never satisfied with what I've put out because I know I can do better. But there's people that just, I don't know, it's weird. Like they cool guy it and they try to say like, oh, I'm the fucking best, blah blah blah, and yada yada. And it's like, dude, just like don't be fucking weird, man. It's art. Art is subjective.
Yeah.
Art is
Right.
so subjective. My opinions of your art are subjective, and that's the whole basis of this show. Like, good, bad, or indifferent, our feedback is 100% our opinion. You don't have to fucking serve us. Like, if you like creating shit, fucking
Yeah,
create.
do your thing. And if it's working for you, cool. But if we come across it and we have like opinions, everybody has opinions,
Right.
and you listen to it, cool. Whatever. Like all we're trying to do is just, hey, we think this might be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and for me, it's one of those things where I'm like, dude, I know I'm never going to be the best fucking editor out there. Like, there's guys that have been doing it longer. They have better camera work. They have better reshade settings. They have all of this shit. But for me, it's like, I don't know. I kind of like being the guy in the corner, the quiet corner that's just kind of doing whatever the fuck he wants to do and having fun with it. And then, I don't know, be that silent professional type. You know what I mean? Where it's, yeah, do I make as much money selling fucking edits and, doing the commission pieces? Fuck no, dude. I got a fucking big boy job that I have to fucking worry about.
Yeah.
As far as things are concerned, dude, I fucking, up until like 2 weeks ago when I started playing this game again on Sundays, just with the boys running free fun tracks, I fucking never picked up this game unless it was to film. And then it was a quick ad, and then I'm in and out of bikes. It's get my lap, get my B-roll, boom, film it, done, and into Premiere Pro, print, repeat.
Then exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But now it's like, dude, everybody's so concerned about making money from this game and it's like, dude, I don't fucking work for free too. I get it. I make enough money from selling fucking graphics and gear every month to pay the internet bill. That's all I fucking give a shit about. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
But
Right. Breaking even almost in a sense. Yeah.
right. I host this show to try to, elevate the bar on something that both you and I are really passionate about. And that's all it really comes down to. But, yeah. Oh, well. You live and you learn.
Yeah, it's just how life goes. It is, huh?
Fuck, dude. If I spent so much time trying to be the fucking best at everything that I did, and don't get me wrong, I don't half-ass anything that I do. I
No,
really
but
do.
if you're really trying to get that extra like 0.1% squeezed out of something with everything, you'd lose your mind.
Oh yeah, dude, you just gotta continually improve and do that shit. It ain't fucking worth it, man. It just ain't. It just ain't. Because you're never gonna be the fucking best. There's always gonna be somebody that does it better than you. And talk to those people,
Always.
make friends with them.
Exactly.
But
Surround yourself by them, and then you get just elevated naturally.
what's the quote?
Yeah.
If you're the smartest person in the room, you shouldn't be hanging out in a room full of retards. I don't think it's that.
It's pretty close, I think.
No, I think it's like you're in the wrong room, right? So for me, like I don't know. I try to have fun. Try to be creative, try to do cool shit. There's people that do cool shit that have their own style, and I've got my style, and that's okay. We can all coexist and have fun and create dope shit and sit here and be like, yeah, dude, that's sick. Now, if your shit's
That's all I'm here for. Yeah, I
right,
like cool shit, so
if your shit's objectively bad, I will let you know that it's objectively bad. Because there's a difference between subjectively not my thing and objectively like this is hot garbage and you should try again. But here's how you fix it. And I'm sure people thought that about a lot of the stuff in year one, man. Like there's probably tons of people that are like, oh fucking it's just too slow. Your fucking voiceover sucks and your dad's gay or something like that. I don't fucking know. Who gives a shit? Whatever. It's all fucking noise, man. Does
yeah.
does bother
Really?
Yeah. It's all fucking noise. It does bother me that there's only 148 views, but there is 148 people that said, "Hey, I will take at least probably 45 seconds to watch this." Maybe there's people that watched it all the way through. Like, that would be really fucking cool if they did.
So I have a really stupid question. Maybe you don't know the answer. How long do you have to watch a YouTube video to get a view? Is it
Fuck.
a full watch through? Is it like a minute?
I
Is
think
it a click?
I don't know if it's a click. It might be like 7 seconds or some shit like that. It's pretty small to get the
Oh,
view.
is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure, but I don't know. I can pull up the analytics and see what the average watch time is. It's fucking.
Yeah, see, this is foreign to me. I don't do this shit, so.
Yeah. Average view duration was 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So.
Okay.
Yeah. It's basically people watching their own portions, whatnot. So, which is fine.
Fair enough. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, that was almost a sense the secondary. Well, I guess the primary point
Mhm.
of this project was everybody involved in
Right.
anything. You know, we beat that horse.
Right.
But again, it would be nice because as a whole, is like this took a lot of time and everything's stitched together. It's not just a collection. It's not like you took a whole bunch of your ads and just put them into one video. You know what I mean?
I should. Be a lot fucking easier.
Yeah, right.
It would be so much easier if I did that shit, bro. That'd be like the easiest way to do fucking year one is just compile all my ads and just smash them into one fucking video and figure out how to make it work. But we ain't gonna do that. We do one big project a year. But hey,
the project has meaning.
Exactly. It means something to me. Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's different. It's something different. And I know that we had to start the show a little bit earlier today, so I do apologize for the people that are watching now. Josh has a child who's having a birthday, and apparently that's fucking important. and not you guys on the internet, which look, I get
select
it.
you.
I get it. I get it. The 4 people that are watching this show, I get it. You guys are important to me. Josh is a child who had a fucking birthday. And he didn't plan for it, so we had to start the show an hour early. And we can't provide you guys with content. So
Well, the beautiful thing is they can go back and play through, right? And they can relive what we've lived. And then on top of that, they can look forward to next week.
yeah, I guess they can. They can look forward
So.
to next week. Or what you could do is tell your kid birthdays aren't that great. Don't become 30, because as soon as you become 30, your shoulder will just separate while you're sitting on the fucking couch.
Yeah, dude, being 30 is rough. Honestly, like you just wake up with these random pains that you that like my calves have been so fucked up lately, and I don't remember doing anything strenuous with my calves.
Yeah.
But they just want to die for some reason.
Yeah, I don't fucking know, man. I don't get it. I don't get it anymore, dude. It sucks. I put my fucking hands behind my head and I was just stretching and I felt that fucking telltale just, I'm like, oh, that's great. And Jess is looking at me all weird. And she's like, what happened? I was like, my shoulder's out of socket. Immediate panic, bro. Dude, I'm talking full blown, like, do I need to call an ambulance? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
Oh Jesus. Yeah.
no, here's my cool new party trick called I'm going to put my shoulder back into socket. And so I bent over and I grabbed my toes and I stood up and it went funk. And then she's like, all right.
Yeah, how'd that sound?
It's not as gnarly as you think. If it comes in and out,
No.
dude, you want to talk about dude, shit's gapped in there, bro. She's gaping, bro. Yeah, there's not a whole lot. Like, I've only separated my shoulders a handful of times, but I've never gone under the knife for it. And dude,
Okay.
yeah, it's icky in there. It sounds like I'm crunching a bag of Doritos if I rotate my shoulder too fast. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So she got to witness that in horror of like, did
You're
that
just stretching? It's not like you were doing anything, like lifting a shelf or a couch or some shit.
right? It's not like I fell down and my shoulder dislocated. I was literally stretching, and then it's just so worn out from years of just abuse and impact that it just slid right out of socket. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Why? So yeah, I grabbed my toe, stood up, just X Game style, fucking popped that shit back into place. And thankfully it wasn't like a full on separation. Like, it wasn't completely out of socket. It was probably like half in, half out, but it was enough where I'm like, oh, I need to stop moving this right now.
Yeah, like I need to fix this. Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, we need to ice it. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I've done this a billion times. I know what it's like. And then I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, this is so bad.
Yeah.
My fucking shoulder hurts so bad. Dude, so I've slept like shit the last 2 nights. I'm like, oh, fuck.
She's still tender?
Oh, dude, it's bad. Like, I'm gonna be John McCain in it for fucking a couple of weeks, I bet.
Oh no.
Yeah, that sucks, but it is what it is. You know,
Was it from injury, or were you just predisposed with bad shoulders?
No, I've separated my shoulder a lot. You raced dirt bikes long enough, hit the ground. They just come out now. Like, I've had small tip overs. I've reset my own shoulder a lot. You know, not as a kid. The first time you do it, you're like, oh my God. And then you just kind of learn that the medics usually do it for you. because they just kind of like hold on to it and then like, and I mean crank on that shit. But once it goes back into socket, dude, it's the best feeling in the world. And then you're just like, ooh, this is hurting a lot more than it really should. But yeah. So that's fun. But anyways, I apologize to people watching the show. They probably didn't give a shit about that story. Oh yeah, they're all gone. But we'll be back next week for the second part of Year One's Behind the Lens. So stay tuned for that. And that will be our final episode of season 2. So again, thank you to all the people that have watched this show. It's been an amazing ride this second season. I don't know. I don't know when the third season is going to come up. There will be a third season, 100%. We'll bring this show back. We love doing this. It's a lot of fun. But no timeline on that quite yet. So
yeah, to be determined.
Yeah, to be determined. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Again, this is the Weekly Review, an MX Bikes Edits podcast where we go through and watch your content each week and give our unsolicited feedback to all you creators out there. I am Dylan Carlson alongside Sean Hoffman, or Josh Hoffman, Sean Hoffman. Fuck, bro. I need to get some sleep. I'm out of here. All right, guys. Fucking take it easy, dude. Oh,
we'll see ya.
See ya. Fuck me running, bro. Get me out of here.
Looking over West Virginia, smoking spirits on the roof. She asked, ain't anybody told you that them things are bad for you? I said, many folks have warned me. There's been several people try, but up till now there ain't been nothing that I couldn't leave behind. Hold me close, my dear. Sing your whispering song softly in my ear, and I will sing along. Honey, tell me how your love runs true, and how I can always count on you. Be there when the bullets fly. I'd run across the river just